Wow. We have a lot to go over. Hello, Steelers Nation! Welcome to an episode of Steelcast podcast where you don't have to be a Steelers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Zach. If this wasn't chaos this week, I don't know what is. Attack! And today, we're going to be breaking down the first week of the Steelers free agency. And oh boy, there's a lot to go over. So let's just go ahead and let's just jump right into it. And we're going to go ahead and start with the most obvious one, and that is Russell Wilson signing with the 1-year deal on the vet minimum to go and play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Russell Wilson was actually linked to go to the Steelers a month even before it happened. The other one was Justin Fields. And of course, Tomlin had some interest in Justin Fields. He liked his play. He likes the way what he does. And of course, Chicago is probably looking to trade him, considering they're probably going to draft Caleb Williams with that first overall pick that they got from Carolina for trading for DJ Moore. So, there's a good little bit here to go over. Russell Wilson, 35 years old. Probably, it's also a few years left. I mean, he's the same age as Kirk Cousins and played better than Kirk Cousins last season when he was on of course, when Kirk was on the field. He got hurt like midway through the season, but that's neither here nor there. And he had overall better numbers. Of course, he was with a bad Denver team, so I guess that probably really hurt his, overall performance a little bit. But even still, he beat Patrick Mahomes with a bad Denver team. He beat Josh Allen with that same Denver team. What else is there to say? Now you're putting him on the Steelers, which has a better roster overall, especially on the defensive side. You can still get like a few other really good players to sign. Like, what more do you want me to say? Like, Russ may not be able to cook as well as he used to. I'm just going to throw that out there. But even still, he can still cook. And we still have a good bit of cap space left to go and get him some weapons. More on that later. But, Russell Wilson was definitely the cheapest and best option we had available. Justin Fields was not going to be very cheap because we would have had to probably pick him as a fifth-year option. More on that later. And moving on, one of our early cuts is Presley Harvin III, so we had to replace him. And we replaced him with Cameron Johnson, punter out of Houston. And got him from Houston, obviously. A little older, but definitely an experienced punter. Has a very good punting average, so it's not. And the problem with Presley Harvin is that he had a good leg, but he couldn't control it. So now you have someone who can actually control their leg, which is a phrase I never thought I'd have to say. How can you not control your own legs? I am in disbelief. Anyways, so there's that. Another thing that we have to go over was, and probably my favorite signing thus far outside of the Russell Wilson one, was Patrick Queen, linebacker that came right from the Baltimore Ravens. Anyways, just feeling a bit mean this morning. But seriously though, Patrick Queen probably really didn't have any room for Baltimore. They had just signed King Henry an hour before, and they had Roquan Smith as their leading inside linebacker, and also they had Trent Simpson. So they were okay with letting go of former first-round pick Patrick Queen. And Patrick Queen debatably had his best year last season. And that was under Roquan Smith. Like, what more do you want? That linebacker unit was elite. But now that we have Patrick Queen, he's more than likely going to be the starting linebacker, because we don't know what's going to happen with Cole Holcomb because of his injury from last season. But Landon Roberts is 100% sticking around, and so is Mark Robinson. So we still have a very good linebacker core, even if Cole Holcomb decides to go. And that'll honestly just free up cap space. So there's still maybe some more cuts to come in the future. We have a lot of... So, and then of course Patrick Queen, he's not the best in coverage, but he can play at least a little bit in the coverage. Landon Roberts is the more coverage linebacker, though. You're probably going to see a Landon Roberts more in coverage than Queen is. So, at least you have someone who can play the coverage. And then, next we had some re-signings for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first one was safety and special teams captain Miles Killebrew, which I love, because every year he seems to at least block one punt. And it's always in a crucial moment. And he never ceases to amaze me. And also, he's a special teams captain. He's a good locker room presence. He brings a good little bit to the table. And he can be a backup safety if we need him to be. He's very versatile. So I like bringing him back. And of course, long snapper Christian Kuntz, very, very good bringing him back. We haven't had any problems with him. So it makes no sense to let him walk into free agency. Besides, who's really looking for a long snapper this season? Literally no one. And now you have another signing, but it wasn't just a signing; it was a trade. Deontay Johnson said bye-bye to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and of course the 6th round pick in exchange for Dante Jackson of the Carolina Panthers and a 7th round pick. Dante Jackson is a corner, a defensive back. So he's more than likely the replacement of, Patrick Peterson. And he's going to definitely fit into the scheme that Mike Tomlin wants to run with this defense. I really like Dante Jackson, and he's going to fit right into this defense. Of course, saying goodbye to Deontay hurts, but he really wasn't a good scheme fit for Arthur Smith, since he likes to have the wide receivers do a lot of run blocking. And Deontay Johnson, when he's a good pass catcher, when he's not dropping the football, cannot run block to save his life. So, had to ship him off to Carolina. Hopefully he does well. Of course, there were some other Steelers that have been signed elsewhere. More on those later. Let's go ahead and keep the train rolling. Next was a signing that was more of a depth signing, or like a rotational piece, but is going to be a really good one. And that was Deshaun Elliott, safety from the Miami Dolphins. And of course, this one definitely works out. He normally plays free safety, but our free safety is Minkah Fitzpatrick. So he's probably going to be the rotational strong safety with DeMonte KZ. Of course, being that rotational piece, going to get probably half the reps. If you've seen his film, in his time in Miami, he plays pretty well. I don't dislike the signing at all. I think he's going to fit right into the defense, and everyone's going to love him, of course. And then we had a re-signing, another one, in nose tackle Montravius Adams. Obviously, Keanu Benton is a starter there, but having some depth and reliable depth in Montravius Adams, definitely not a bad thing to do. Love that re-signing. But then we get into some more or less heartbreaking news. I mean, it wasn't that heartbreaking, but I don't think anyone in Steeler Nation saw it coming. And that was a trade of Kenny Pickett to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Steelers ship off Kenny Pickett in a 4th-round pick, in exchange get a 3rd-round pick and 2 7th-rounders for 2025. Of course, Kenny is going to be the backup behind Jalen Hurts. Kenny Pickett wanted to be the starter in Pittsburgh, but after getting benched by Mason Rudolph, and of course, the Russell Wilson signing, Tomlin came up to him and was like, "Hey, we're going to be starting Russell Wilson," and he was like, "Fine, I want out of here," which fair. And then a few hours later, he gets shipped off. Of course, probably Tomlin went with the best deal he had available to him. Kenny Pickett, I'm sure, wanting a starting job, but he's obviously not going to get it. So at this rate, you can call Kenny Pickett a bust, which hurts to say it, but like, what do you want me to say? Like, Kenny Pickett, he had his moments, he had his flashes, but ultimately, even though, to be fair, most of it was on Matt Canada being a terrible offensive play caller. It hurts. It definitely hurts to see Kenny Pickett go, but at the end of the day, literally at the end of the day, just it had to be done. Kenny Pickett requested it. It happened. Everyone moved on from their lives. But of course, that means the only QB left is Russell Wilson on a 1-year deal. So we'll have to make some moves. More on that later. I remember I had just gotten off work, like an hour before I got off work. I just remember looking down on my phone and seeing that Kenny Pickett had been traded. I'm like, what? I mean, I don't have to pretend he's good anymore, but like, why though? But I guess it was good for both sides. Both ends of the trade ended up working out on a deal, and it was a good deal for both sides. What else? What else is there to do, really? But in any case, he'll be an Eagle next season. I wish the kid the best. And then, literally, an hour after the Kenny Pickett trade, the Steelers signed Van Jefferson from the Atlanta Falcons and Los Angeles Rams. So, let's break this one down. Van Jefferson signed to a 1-year deal, probably a low amount of money, and he has he's going to be more of like what Allen Robinson did, but for way less money, and that is going to be run blocking. And we know Arthur Smith likes his wide receivers doing a lot of run blocking, so I really like this Van Jefferson signing. Of course, if God forbid, something were to happen to a receiver, he could be a rotational piece, because he can still play wide receiver. I mean, his best wide receiver pick was with the Rams in 2021, during the Super Bowl run. 600 yards. Um, like he had his time, his tenure there, like 6 touchdowns, I think it was. He had a good season. So I do think that the Steelers can work something out here with other free agents, because we have about maybe between 15 to 18 million left in the cap. So I don't really see there's not really a whole lot of wiggle room for the Steelers in terms of just going out and being brazen, signing a whole bunch of free agents. But they still definitely can make it work. You obviously still need a receiver. We haven't really done anything on the offensive lines, like left tackle, center. You still need a defensive back because you don't know if Levi Wallace is going to stick around or not. And even if he does, he's not really that good. So there's that. And obviously, you need QB depth. For wide receiver, we're really looking at like Tyler Boyd right now. Things are still being talked about with him potentially being that wide receiver too, behind George Pickens. So, I really like that to happen because he wants to at least be a Steeler before he retires, and he's a free agent. He's not going to be re-signed, so that would be good, just to take a receiver from the Bengals and then stick him on their defense. That would just be funny. There's also, like for tackle or center, things like that. Connor Williams of the Dolphins. Probably will cost a little bit, like Tyler Boyd will, but not as much as Tyler Boyd, but he'll definitely cost a little bit. I would like to see if we can try and land him. Maybe round 1 pick like someone like Armarius Mims to put on the other side of Broderick Jones. I would like to see that happen. That would just be cool. We have a lot of wiggle room. So like I'm not that upset right now in terms of the cap space, but we do need to be smart about it. But I mean, hey, Omar Khan, the con artist, definitely making some moves, and we're kind of seeing the old Steeler way go to the wayside. Kenny Pickett got traded and not keeping around bad players anymore. Patrick Queen is going to wear 6, even though he's a linebacker. So, and we all know how Steelers are about their jersey numbers. It's only a matter of time before number 0 is worn by one of our players. Probably would be Darnell Washington. We'll see if Darnell Washington requests number 0. But at some point in his career, it's only a matter of time. Yeah, we'll see. Of course, the QB room, Justin Fields is still a possibility, and with his trade market declining, there's a good chance we can get him for like a 5th. Well, we don't have any more 5th round picks. We can get. We do have a 5th round pick. We can get him for like a 5th or a 6th round pick. Probably. I wouldn't recommend trying to do that when we can just go out and get Ryan Tannehill. Because even though Justin Fields would be the better QB over Ryan Tannehill has fit into the Steelers system because Arthur Smith is the OC, and he's played in an Arthur Smith offense before. That's where he had his best years, was under Arthur Smith. So, I mean, I would like that just in case Russell Wilson sinks it up, which is unlikely, but you never know. And then, of course, Justin Fields, he would be better, a little bit more pricey. He wouldn't pick up his fifth-year option, though, because he'd be a backup to Russell Wilson. So he would probably be the starter. So Russell Wilson would be the starter. Justin Fields would be the backup. But then you would have Team Russ and Team Fields. And who should be the starting QB? And we literally just had a war end with Kenny Pickett in the locker room. We don't need any more of that division in the locker room. We should just be able to stick with one guy and get behind one guy, and that'll really help out the Steelers. So I would, even though Fields would be debatably better, I think that in terms of overall age-wise and playability, Ryan Tannehill would be a better scheme fit and also wouldn't divide the locker room. So we'll see what happens with the QB room. I do like a lot of the Steelers' chances here in terms of getting the people, the positions that they need, and of course addressing the rest in the draft. They have 3 picks in day 2. So it's not going to be a matter of what the first 4 picks are going to be, because we have a good idea of what they're going to be, and that is offensive line, receiver, defensive back, and center. So it's not like a tackle or all that good stuff. So it's not going to be who are they going to what positions are they going to pick in their first 4 picks? We know, we can make a very good educated guess, and those are my 4 guesses. It's just a matter of what order are they going to go in? Who's going to go first? Who's going to go second? And so on and so forth. What position of need is going to be established first? So, but I do trust Omar Khan. He's pulled a lot of good moves in free agency. It's been the first, what was it? First week. And already the Steelers have made so many aggressive moves. Technically, the week isn't over. It's Saturday. So if there are any moves made today, they will be down in the description below. But, oh my goodness. There are a lot of things the Steelers could still do with the cap they have left. I'm excited to see what goes down here nonetheless. I'm super excited. Of course, some Steelers free agents that have been lost, Kenny Pickett got traded, Deontay Johnson got traded, Devin Bush signed with the Browns for some weird reason, and then of course Mason Rudolph. Like I said, Russell Wilson's the only QB left in the QB room. Rudolph is no longer a Steeler; he is now a Titan, and more than likely going to be the starter over there in Tennessee. So good luck to Mason. And yeah, we'll see what happens. A lot of people are probably wondering what I have going first in the first round for the Steelers. I have the Steelers taking Amarius Mims, tackle, as of right now, because we don't really have a left tackle. Byron Jones can move that tackle. Amarius Mims could be the right tackle. Sure. But, he was also played in Georgia alongside Broderick. He knows how the system works. And Broderick Jones fit right in as a rookie. He's fit right into the system. So I'm confident Amarius Mims is going to have a smooth transition as well if he gets picked up by the Steelers round 1. But yeah, that's all from me. So let me know down in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen week 2? And I'm super excited for the next few weeks of free agency before the draft hits in late April. We'll probably go live for it here on the channel, so be ready for that. I'm super hyped. Or at least the first 2 nights, anyways. We'll probably do day 3, but we'll at least do day 1 and day 2. More than likely. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. Omar Khan, being a little legend right now. And just, I absolutely love it. I wouldn't trade last week for anything else. Hype stuff all around. Love what the Steelers are doing, and I cannot wait to see what they got cooking for this the later weeks in free agency. And well, time to sign off. My name is Zach Attack, and as always, you're in Steelers country.